Welcome back to Invest Global. Today we're going through everything you need to know about Peru in 2023, going through the economy, the leadership, the current state of emergency, and wrapping it up with the investment outlook and the thesis. Last year in 2022, I spent a significant amount of time in Peru analyzing real estate deals, looking at different business opportunities, looking in the mining sector. There's a lot to look at in Peru. What a massive country with amazing history and culture. I absolutely love it. I'm spending a significant amount of time and energy looking into the country, really looking at a long-term investment thesis, growth outlook for the next few decades. So really what I found when I was there is the economy is very, very positive if you look back over the past 10 years. Kind of rare here in South America to have a positive account surplus, right? So when you're analyzing the country from an economic perspective, one of the things that I personally like to look at, just when it comes to inputs and outputs, just like if you're analyzing an individual, you're looking at the inputs and outputs in their personal bank accounts. You can look at a country and go, okay, what are the imports and exports, right? So if they're importing more, meaning they're taking more in than they're actually sending out, and they're selling or producing, so they're consuming more than they're producing, well, that would be a deficit. If they're producing more than they're consuming, that would be a surplus. So the bank balance would be up, right? And in Peru, we have this situation. However, the main issue that you look at is not actually the economy. It's really the distribution of wealth along with the leadership. So in the past 5 years, Peru has had 6 different leaders. Currently, the issue that we're seeing is Pedro Castillo kind of got ousted. He was kind of an up-and-coming leader that got ousted from his position. He was kind of trying to change everything, doing some very, very drastic things, and basically was pushed out of office, now is in jail. And basically what we're seeing is in the south of the country, there's a ton of protests, a bunch of people saying, screw this current leadership that's telling us to stay inside, to lock down. We want Pedro Castillo back in office. That's what's going on currently. Like I said, when you contrast the economy and the leadership issues, you kind of get the picture a little bit better. This video is really just meant to kind of give you a brief overview. I might do a more in-depth video moving forward. Let me know in the comments if you would like that. But combining in the economy, one of the things you have to look at is Peru does get affected a lot by natural gas, so things like oil, nat gas prices coming into the country because they're actually a net importer of natural gas along with food, where they're a net exporter in things like lithium, copper, and key earth metals that you find very, very abundant, especially in the lithium triangle in South America, and other things that are very important for metals needed for batteries, things like this. So Peru's in a very positive situation there. However, some short-term volatility when it comes to food prices and oil prices. We'll see how that all plays out. Ideally, as a country, if you're analyzing them, you want them to be more self-sustainable. Peru, like I said, has a lot of positive things with it. It was really, really affected by COVID. That was the interesting thing that I found when it comes to the investment thesis in real estate projects is during COVID, one of the big issues in Peru was they were the most strict countries really in South America, and if not the world, when it comes to lockdowns, super strict. A ton of businesses really, really hurt by that and really destroyed by that. So that caused a lot of opportunity when it comes to real estate. I'm personally bullish long-term on Peru. I love Lima. I love Arequipa. I love Puno. There's a lot of amazing places there. Cusco is very interesting as well. So many things to understand here in Peru, but to kind of wrap it all together, how I'm looking at Peru moving forward, still very, very bullish when it comes to this. I personally think in times like this, you have to price these in and really bake these into the long-term thesis of the country. Something like this will be bound to happen again. We'll see how this plays out, but it does provide for short-term more opportunity, right? So as prices drop more, as things get more and more stressed in the country, that's where there's more opportunity to enter in, potentially put in some positions, potentially just kind of set some dry gunpowder there, if you will. So maybe just setting up a bank account, setting up a brokerage account, putting a bit of capital in, and being ready to kind of pounce at the opportunity when things really, really crash. You can jump in, because this is just the beginning, in my opinion, for tons of countries. When you analyze Pakistan, Sri Lanka, a lot of these countries that are almost on default risks, especially looking at places like Japan, there's a lot of opportunity in the markets if you can really time yourself correctly. But the issue is going to be most people, when things really, really crash, they're going to be in a position where they're going to have to be selling off their own personal assets. They're not going to be positioned in a way where they can take advantage of some of the short-term volatility and really do some crisis investing, if you will. So we can go into more of that on detail, but to wrap it all together, I'm very bullish on Peru. Very sad to see the things that are going on there. Hope this gets resolved. Hope they get a strong leadership. This is something, human error you can't really get past unless we move to things more blockchain based. So a video for another day, but that's basically all for the video. Thank you very much for watching Invest Global, and until next time.